Hello everyone, I'm Skratch, welcome to the channel. This video is brought to you by Dragonair Silent Gods. Super excited to be able to dive into the game for a second time, to showcase it to you guys, and of course, see how the game evolved since last time when we actually played it on the channel. Now, Dragonair Silent Gods is an open world high fantasy strategy RPG game that, honestly, you don't want to miss this year. They've actually announced a partnership with Dungeons and Dragons. They're trying to bring different elements from that game to Dragonair, maybe heroes and other things like that. If you guys want to see more content on the game as well, I'm actually covering it on my other channel. I'm gonna link it in the pinned comment in case if you're interested to check out the game more. And of course, head over to the link in the description and get involved. Pre-register, download the beta, try it out. It's actually a lot of fun. In today's video, we're gonna go through a couple of things. We're gonna check the heroes. We're gonna see how we can actually enhance our heroes, making them more powerful. We're gonna check how we can build a team. And of course, we're gonna check some dungeons, some content. We wanna see some proper fights in here, so let's jump straight into it. Now, the very first thing you're going to see on the screen, guys, is going to be the camp. This is the place where we're kind of like chillaxing, basically. These are some of my heroes that I have right here, and how I mentioned, I'm gonna teach you guys how to work on your heroes. We're gonna see how we can enhance our heroes. There are quite a few different ways on how we can actually do that. I'm gonna go in and try a few dungeons. We want to see the battle. We want to build a nice team and slay some bosses, get some sweet precious loot. And this is an open world game. There's literally so much stuff to cover. I just want to quickly give you a brief introduction before we move to the main topics. So you're going to be able to move your heroes on the map like this, you know. And you're going to need to go from a point of interest to a different point of interest, find different things to do. This is my account in the beta, okay? So this is how far I actually progressed at the moment. I am a couple of days behind because I've been so busy for the last 2 days that I didn't really have a chance to play it a lot, but I'm catching up now. So basically, you have quite a few different things to do in the game. Not only that, you have the campaign, which is what you see right here, unlocking the map, unlocking new cities, new towns, but you have dungeons, right? So we're gonna check some dungeons out, and these dungeons, they either drop gear, they drop materials to enhance your heroes. Then you have arena, you have live arena, you have mazes, aka labyrinths, which is a different sort of game mode. You're basically gonna have to go from floor to floor and defeat different opponents. I really think this is kind of like the equivalent of the Doom Tower in Raid, for example. Then there is another thing in the game, and it's located pretty randomly. Basically, you're gonna find like little towers. How you see this one right here, but of course not all of them are the same thing, and that will be kind of like a tower defense game mode. You're gonna put in some heroes, you're gonna have waves of enemies constantly coming on, and you're just gonna have to defeat them. Pretty interesting as well. You're going to be able to check dungeons only on the map, and you're going to see what dungeons you have open. And I mentioned, right, I haven't unlocked everything. Like, there's so many other dungeons that I gotta unlock. The map is massive. Now, let's quickly dive back into the heroes, right? When you start the game, you're going to be able to select from a particular class, basically. So you're going to have human, you're going to have a dwarf, you're going to have high elf, and lizard. I went with human. It's more of a cosmetic thing, so don't stress about it too much. But basically, the game has elemental affinity as well, right? So the good part about it is that the main hero that you're selecting, the main class, can actually switch in between elements. So I'm going to show you how to build a team as well. We're going to discuss a bit about the elemental affinity. Of course, you're getting bonus stats when you are using the right affinities, the right elements in your team to kind of like boost their stats. And it's pretty nice to have that because it allows you to kind of like work on different strategies, basically. So this is my main character. If I'm gonna bring up the hero page, for example, so I have a couple of legendaries as well. I haven't built one of them yet, but we're gonna build that hero today. So when you are looking at your main character, that's pretty much how it's gonna look. You're gonna be able to see their stats right here on the right side, and you're gonna be able to enhance them. So right here, these are XP potions. You're gonna get them by completing content, doing campaign, and you have a designated dungeon from where you can actually farm them, the Goblin. So you defeat the Goblin dungeon, you're getting potions to level up your champions, plus when you complete the rest of the content in the game, everything kind of like gives you XP. So let's actually go right here. You can put it to maximum, level him up, or just go quick upgrade, we're gonna go all the way straight to level 30. And that's gonna rank him up, basically, to maximum. Then, in order to move to the next star, we're gonna have to upgrade, enhance the hero to star number 2, and you're using materials. So these are kind of like elemental materials that you can farm from different dungeons. We're gonna do that as well in today's video. I'm gonna show you how that works as well. And you know what? Let's try to level him up even more. Can we go to level 50? Seems like we can. Beautiful. So we got that covered as well. And now again, we have the necrosis fluoride. And we're gonna have to use them again to take him to 3-star. That's how the ranking works in the game. I definitely prefer this over walk the dog sort of thing that we have in the raid. Just put different heroes in different heroes in different heroes. I definitely prefer this system over that. I feel like it's just easier to get it done, more pleasant. You're not wasting so much time, and you can invest that time in doing other things that actually matter in the game, you know. So we've got that done. He is at 3-star now, level 50. Now you do have different things that you can do in order to enhance your hero, and that is skill upgrade. And talking about skills, let's check the skills on this hero, for example. So the passive skill. Each friendly summoned unit on the battlefield grants 1 stack of Abyssal Pact to the Fear Bearer up to 5 stacks. Now, right here it shows you what the Abyssal Pact is. Damage dealt is granted with a 25% damage bonus effect. Not to mention, the hero looks sick, like the character design in Dragonair Silent Gods is top notch. That's one of the main things that really caught my eye, and hey, here I am enjoying the game. Then we have the battle skill. So when you are in a fight, basically you're gonna build up energy, and that will allow you to use your ultimatum, your battle skill. And this skill right here, initial recharge time is 7 seconds. Complete recharge time is 12 seconds. So it takes time in order to enable your skills. And it's not really a turn-based game where, okay, you take your turn, then I'm waiting, I don't have a move, and I'm gonna take my turn after. You're actually able to constantly do something, use the basic skill or use something in the meantime, you know. This skill, for example, unleashes evil energy, dealing necrotic damage to enemies within range. And it kind of like shows you how you're gonna be able to land the skill. If it's area of effect in this way, or is gonna be like single target, is gonna be melee hits, what exactly is gonna be, you know. Then the ultimate skill, deals necrotic damage to enemies within range and summons the Fear Bearer for an unlimited duration. The Fear Bearer, undead creature. Its basic attack deals necrotic damage, area damage. When unleashing Abyssal Domination again with the Fear Bearer on the battlefield, it will deal necrotic damage to enemies within range. And of course, you're gonna be able to upgrade the skills how I mentioned. Now you're gonna need Master Scrolls in order to do it. I don't have any at the moment. I need to unlock the market in order to be able to get a few of them as free to play. And I need to complete slightly higher content in order to get that done, but I'm working on it as well. Now, another thing that is pretty solid in Dragonair Silent Gods already is that you have a dupe system for legendaries in place. And for the rest of the heroes as well. But basically you have the inspiration, so when you get dupes, you're gonna be able to consume the soul imprints and enhance your hero even more, making it more powerful, which is definitely a pretty good thing to have when you're starting the game. If we're gonna talk about how we can actually build a hero, you have the regular gear sets. At the moment, I only have unlocked 4 slots for his gear, artifacts, gear. Let's just call it gear at the moment. So basically, you're gonna have different sets. This is what I have at the moment. So I have the attack set, I have the HP set, and I have the set that doesn't give me a bonus stat at the moment. You're gonna have to refine the gear, basically level it up. So you can select the level right here, and this is rare gear. We can go all the way up to level 12, so let's do that. No messing around in terms of RNG, retrying the run. You're just going in. This is the cost to level it up. Job done, basically, which is again very nice. You're gonna appreciate this if you're coming from raid. And you have the substats that just dropped in: HP, defense, crit damage. Now is a pretty interesting thing, but I kind of like want to get some crit rate. I want to be able to drop some damage. Attack, maybe we get a bit of enlightenment in here. So let's just see what other pieces we have available. 3% crit rate on that one. I don't want to move any from my other heroes either, you know. So this has attack, crit damage, flat attack, resistance. Interesting. Maybe we're gonna go with crit rate gloves instead, since we don't really have that many good pieces that have crit rate on. So let's equip that helmet on, and we're looking for crit rate gloves. So let's see if we have any free. I do have attack gloves with crit rate substat or crit damage, but I want to have crit rate gloves as main, you know. I would look regularly for crit damage, but because we're not so advanced at the moment, guys, we're gonna go with this. So we're gonna get our crit rate, and beautiful, we rolled attack and crit damage on it. Perfect. That's literally what we wanted to have on the helmet and the other pieces, but that's what we got so far. So right now, the stats actually increased. You see right here, the yellow amount of stats is what we've got from gear. Now, one thing that you can actually equip on the heroes is going to be called artifacts, aka relics. Now, these are very unique because they're kind of like bringing in another skill on your hero. So if we're gonna head right here to the shop, we're actually gonna go and get one because I don't want to move the equipped ones that I have. So we have the artifact shop, we have rares. So basically, when you're getting rare champions as dupes or epics or the rest, you're getting materials that will allow you to purchase artifacts or will allow you to upgrade your artifacts. That's another great thing to do with a dupe system, you know, like definitely pretty good. The wearer's ultimate skill gains damage, bonus damage. You know what? Let's just purchase that, and we're gonna use it on our hero, and then we're pretty much ready to rumble with this one right here. So let's bring it on. Let's refine it. Again, you're gonna have to invest a bit in it. We're only gonna take it to level 4 for the moment because I don't have that many materials for them, and I kind of like want to use them on my other main ones. But let's just put that. So right now we've built our hero, we gained some stats, we gained this extra damage as well from the artifact. I feel like we're pretty ready to take on the Goblin dungeon. So if we're gonna head over to the camp right here, you kind of like have two options. Either you go to adventures, you go to the world map right here to select where you want to go, or you can just open your journal right here, go to dungeons, Goblin layers, fast travel, and here we are. You're not gonna have to kind of like drag the mouse around and go to the desired point of interest. You're gonna be able to fast travel to a lot of different points of interest, which is great. So Goblin layer. I'm actually gonna switch to a lower difficulty because I'm not gonna use my regular team. I wanna explain you how you're actually going to build your team. So it takes stamina to do a fight. The good part about it is that if you're losing the fight, if you're backing out of the fight, it doesn't charge you the stamina. So right here I have my team. You see I have 3 heroes from the fire element and I have 2 from the radiance. That will allow me to pretty much get all the bonus stats that I have right here on the screen. So I have 3 hero elemental affinity. You're getting 20% more attack, 20% more defense, and when you have 5 hero elemental affinity, you're getting 15% more damage. Not to say you're getting the defense, you're getting the flat HP and the attack as well when you have the 3 heroes elemental affinity. Now the way it works, you gotta pair heroes from 2 different elemental affinities. It kind of like shows you right here. You have frost with poisons, you have light with necrotic, and we're gonna drag our heroes out. So this is a great battle system basically. When you are deploying your heroes, you're gonna be able to pretty much see what will your hero do, what are the enemy heroes going to do. So right now, I'm putting my hero in the middle. You see the purple line, it shows that I'm going to attack that hero, and that hero is going to attack mine. Then all the other ones are coming towards my main hero. So that can be a bit of a problem. We're gonna place him right here at the back, and you know what? We're gonna try to kind of like bring in a few more heroes that will allow us to get the elemental bonus. So we're gonna bring in another necrotic hero right here, so we can place this one right there. Most probably they're going to get hammered because you know what, they're not leveled up at the moment, but we're gonna do that later as well because I gotta build so many different teams. And right now we gain the hero elemental affinity. Beautiful. And now we can go all the way to 5. if we're bringing in some light heroes, so we're getting one there and another one there, and right now our team is complete. Now it really depends where you wanna drop your heroes, you know. So just because I want to ensure that we are actually completing this, I'm gonna bring in my main hero right here to drop in a bit of damage, and I'm gonna bring in a crowd control hero too. So let's actually go like this and bang. You see, because the elements are kind of like not in a relation with each other, we're not actually gaining the 5 hero elemental affinity. That's why you need to pair the elements. So it's pretty interesting. But let's crack on it. You have a multi-battle system as well, where you can actually set the game to just farm the dungeon for you. So right here is actually pretty interesting. This is the only dungeon that I've seen that it has this in the game. You see the timing right here at the top, the timer, sorry. Challenge time remaining. So if you're completing it with 50 seconds left, you're 3-starring it, and you're getting more rewards than when you're completing it with less time, actually. So this, for example, is kind of like constantly killing waves of goblins. You don't really have a boss in here, and you just need DPS. You don't really need to bring any sort of support champions. So that's the Goblin dungeon done. You see we're gaining the XP. On some of my heroes, I already reached the cap. And, of course, we're getting the actual rewards. We're getting the XP potions, how I mentioned, and we're getting the gold. Now, if we're going back to the world, I've mentioned you're gonna have to get different materials to kind of like enhance your hero, you know. So, for example, we have the flame domain right here. This will give us materials to do our heroes from the radiance and from the fire element. So if we're gonna fast travel there, because is an interesting thing right here as well. So we have the flame domain, and this is the boss, Lady of Flame Akara. We're not gonna go on level 70 because we cannot beat that yet. We're gonna go on level 2, for example. So once you are here, basically what's gonna happen? You're gonna have to bring in heroes of different elements to fight against this boss, because enemies take 30% less fire damage and less radiant damage, and deal 30% more damage to fire heroes and radiance heroes. So basically, I can farm materials from my radiance team and fire, but if I'm coming in with my team of those elements, I'm actually weak against the boss that gives me the materials for them. So I need to bring in heroes from different elements to fight against this boss. But let's actually just go in and do a fight. I'm still at a pretty high level with the rest of the heroes, so I'm gonna be able to overpower this without having any sort of issues, you know. I do have some pretty nice heroes in here, and the way the battle system works, like, I'm gonna move a bit my head from here, guys, so you're gonna be able to see the skills. My bad. So right here, you see, we have this yellow bar charging, which is the energy bar. Once that's full, the heroes will be able to use the ultimate skill. There you go. So bang, we actually started dropping in a CC with that hero. That's kind of like my tank, crowd controlling, doing tons of awesome things. And we are currently at the boss. Now let me just put it on manual that we're here. And I unlocked my skill right now. So I can go in, drop the damage, bang, drop the nuke. And I have kind of like a super secret skill that I can enable every now and then, and that will give me a shield on all my team. But that comes from your main character. And we've defeated the boss. We collected the loot from here as well, and these are the materials required to star our heroes, basically, to enhance them. Now, we've seen how we're kind of like building our team, building our heroes, and I think it's time to show you how you're actually getting the gear as well. So we do have different dungeons in the game too that will drop gear, artifacts. So right here we have the Grave of Venom, or if I'm going all the way here at the top, we have a different dungeon which is called the Grave of Curse. Let's actually go and do the Grave of Curse. Crack on it, fast travel, Vampire Prince. This is the boss that we are going to encounter. We're gonna go on level 55, and let's see how fast we can actually smack this boss. So you're getting gear from here, and not only that you are getting gear, you're getting materials for the forge to get more gear when you are farming dungeons. So that's another thing that I really like about it. So when I'm positioning my heroes, I'm always putting my tank, my crowd control, at the middle. So the majority of enemies, if they're multiple, will target him. And then he's gonna get to crowd control from the middle, spreading around. Because you see, the heroes, they're moving on different tiles. Then I have my healer right here. It's not a necessity for him to be here, but I'm kind of like keeping him there because at the moment for this dungeon is fine, you know. I have my melee DPS, which is gonna go straight at the boss, and then I have my two long range heroes, which are gonna do the job from basically from the back right there, just slowly dropping damage on the boss. Of course, the boss has different skills. It has different buffs. Decrease attack is very, very important in here as well to ensure that you have that on the boss. Bang! That was actually pretty nasty. That was one of the boss's move, you know. There we go. We're getting a bit of a heal on. Beautiful. And we are here ready to slay the boss. Job done. And give me that gear and give me the materials for my forge. We want to get that done. Beautiful. So we've completed this stage and we cashed in on a piece of gear, gold, and we've got materials for the forge. These materials are enough to forge another piece of gear, basically. So if we're gonna go back at the world, let me actually quickly show you the forge as well before we're ending it. And I don't want to do one summon because I like doing it, basically. That's how it goes. So right here you have the forge. You head over, you can refine the equipment or just forge it, and basically you're gonna have to upgrade the forge building to a higher level. Once you get to a higher level, you're gonna be able to do legendary, you're gonna be able to do epics. Right now I can do commons and rares. So if we're gonna go to the sets, we can pick which sets we wanna do. We can do the HP or we can do the attack sets. And you can do, let's just forge time directly, and we've got all this gear. Beautiful, you see? Some of it might be good, some of it might not, so we're gonna have to sell it. But at least you're farming the dungeon and you're getting extra stuff to basically get more gear after you farm the dungeon. That was pretty much everything in terms of dungeons, in terms of equipment, in terms of how to build your heroes. I do think the system is definitely pretty interesting, and just to end it, let's blow the horn one time. So this is kind of like a free summon, kind of like a mystery shard, but it does have a chance to give you epics as well. So you're gonna select 3 labels to find match allies. So basically, let's just say we're gonna go melee, we're gonna go necrosis, we're gonna go defense, and see if we find the hero. Now you're gonna roll the dice. This is kind of like where the D&D element comes into it. The RNG is kind of like displayed on the screen, at least you know what's happening, and we'll see what we're gonna roll. We roll the common, a 6, so we might get a hero, we might not, we might just get materials, but actually we got a common hero, and seems like we actually managed to get one of the things that we selected, melee hero, and he looks pretty sick as well, right? But guys, that was all for today's video on Dragonair Silent Gods. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How I mentioned, if you want to get involved, head over to the link in the description down below. I'm gonna put the link to their Discord as well. Join the community too. Lots of awesome people in the Discord as well. That was all for this video. Much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Thanks again to Dragonair Silent Gods for sponsoring today's video. Peace.